Dated February 23rd, 2026. If you'd please rise and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, again, welcome. Our agenda is on the shorter side, but I guess we'll see how it goes. Lauren, if you want to take roll call.
Councilmember Tradewell.
Here.
Mayor Rolfe.
Here.
Councilmember West.
Present.
Councilmember Bray Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Wiley.
Present.
All right. Anybody have any announcements?
Don't.
No. I guess the only one I have is that black book in the back has everything that we have before us. You can also find the agenda on the city website too. My only announcement, setting of the regular agenda. Anything to add or remove?
It's not really added. It was on the agenda under consent for the Comcast franchise 2026. We were hoping to have the actual franchise for you to approve tonight, but Comcast has asked for an additional extension until April 1st. We do anticipate them having the changes to us in time for the first meeting in March, but we do need to officially extend it until April 1st. So I did put Resolution 2026-039, basically just extending our current agreement now until April 1st. You had approved a similar one a few months back, giving them until March 1st. The main reason for this is because one of the things we had asked for in the resolution last year was that we get free internet at all of the city locations, and that was not included in the draft they sent over to us last week. So we told them to add that in there. They need to verify a few things, but we anticipate having it in the next week or so.
So do you want to leave this under the consent or have it separate?
I think it's fine to put on consent. That's where it was. It's just routine to extend it another 30 days.
So with that, I'll make a motion to set the regular agenda.
All right. Motion by Councilmember West. Is there a second?
A second.
Second.
By Councilmember Bray Johnson. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Public hearing. It's an opportunity. If there's somebody here that would like to talk to us about an item that is not on the agenda, I'd ask for you to come up now. If you could just state your name and address for the record, appreciate it.
It's Mike Orlando and 3215 221st Avenue northwest corner of 221st and 9. 4:45 tonight, yet another accident on my intersection that I was the first guy to run out to make sure everybody was okay. It shakes the windows in my house when it happens. I've been there since 2014, and I've lost count of how many accidents I've witnessed there. Well, I'm at home, mind you. Tow truck was heading southbound on 9. A van east-west ran the stop sign and cut right in front of it. We heard the horn blow and smash. There goes the van. I took a video of it, and thankfully everybody's okay, but I want to find out what's going on with that intersection here. There was a time when I came to meetings, it was scheduled 2022, 23, and I'm sure you're tired of hearing about it, but there was a roundabout scheduled for it at one point, and I have documentation, and all of a sudden that disappeared. The funding all of a sudden mysteriously wasn't there, and I want to know in the future, is there something that's going to happen there? Because I'm tired of picking up car parts in my yard.
I'd say either Lauren or Chuck, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just been delayed. It hasn't been
Okay.
moved. It's really a county project.
Right.
Do we know when they're anticipating that? I feel like it's still a couple of years out.
Chuck's online, so I think Chuck can address
I
that.
think Chuck has an update.
Chuck, are you able to share an update?
Yep. So that's scheduled for 2029. Yeah, roundabout.
2029, so another.
Yeah, so next year, what they will do is start, they'll get the designer on board, they'll start designing it with the thought that it would be constructed in 2029.
Sure. Any idea how much of my front yard I might lose for that? I really honestly don't care, as long as it turns into a safe intersection and people can manage roundabouts without crashing in each other.
And which quadrant were you in?
I'm the northwest corner of 221st and Lake George Boulevard, on the corner.
Yeah, I guess I don't have I'd have to look, I'd have to find an old kind of schematic drawing
Sure.
of that. But certainly if you wanna shoot Lauren an email, I can follow up
Okay,
with you on kind of a schematic design.
that works for me.
Doesn't, it can't hold us to it, but that's kind of what initially what they're thinking about, what the impact's gonna be to each of the four
Yep.
property owners.
Hey, Chuck, it'll be delayed, but, I think where he's talking about is that his parcel there?
That's my parcel there, correct.
All right. Yeah, it's on the opposite side of, I remember they were saying something about needing some additional land on the east side there. Remember when Anoka County came up and,
Right.
that was actually across from you.
Yeah, there's only two houses. That one kitty cornered me. I don't have any idea who them people are.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
Not anymore.
But no, and it is one of the most dangerous intersections in Oak Grove, so, and of Anoka
I
County.
wish I had fire extinguishers like dropped off from the fire department to put out fires that were in my front yard from cars burning and stuff. I've been out there before and it's not.
It seems like every week, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad, but I
Well,
drove up there.
they've cut back the tree line. I mean, they've taken some protocols and some measures to cut back tree lines, clean up that intersection, but people don't slow down on 9 and they don't stop east to west. You know, they think they can beat somebody coming out. There's a little incline coming southbound. I think it throws off your depth perception of how fast people truly are traveling. And what happens is boom, crash, bang. So, all right.
Yeah, you have a big straightaway there, with young drivers from, high school age, and
We hear
you've got the busiest local road at 221st, and
everybody's a race car driver, especially 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with loud exhaust, and we can't keep windows open in our house. It's so loud. So,
I know when I met with the county last, I knew it got pushed out a couple more years,
Yep.
but I believe that is when they're actually gonna do it this time. But according to Chuck represents the city.
yep.
But really it's a county project, but Chuck can probably answer a lot of your questions.
Sure.
If you email, Lauren.
Okay. Well, that sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
you.
Thanks, Mike.
Anyone else? One last time? No? All right. Well, thank you for coming and sharing your concerns. All right, approval of council minutes, our work session dated February 9th, 2026. Unless there's any questions, I'll look for a motion to approve. Motion by Councilmember.
Motion to approve.
I beat you, you can second.
All right, motion by Councilmember Tradewell, second by Councilmember Wiley. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. The next set of minutes here, I do have a comment, Lauren. I think the company didn't quite understand what I was saying, and maybe I wasn't overly clear. It talks about, under my announcements, talking about the rifle and the shotgun for hunting in the city based off the new state law. It almost looks like I'm looking to have them consider adopting an ordinance, but I'm not having them consider. So mine would be, if the state law requires it, just to keep it as is and not have the county decide that they want to enact an ordinance, nor do I think we should. So I'm in favor of, it's hard to say this, but in favor of what the state's saying.
Got it.
It's hard to say.
I was gonna say, that's a hard one to
Somebody will
say.
take that little recording
exactly.
sometime, use it for something else. So I don't want an ordinance. How about that?
Right, there
We
you go.
will make that amendment so it's accurate.
Okay. All right. With that, I guess I will make the motion then to approve. And I'm looking for a second.
Second.
Second by Councilmember West. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Acknowledge of Park Commission minutes dated February 18th, 2026. Looks like they have a lot of ideas. So I guess we'll see what we can do and what we can't. But anybody have any comments, questions?
I think the
Anything
photo contest sounds like a really cool thing. I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Okay. Anything to add for Parks, Mike?
No, I wasn't at the last meeting, so I can't tell you what happened there.
Okay. All right. We've accepted those. Consent agenda. Our city administrator is going to put a list of items on the screen up there, and we're going to vote on all of those in one motion unless council member, staff, or someone from the audience would like one polled.
I just had a question about something on there.
Why don't you pull it then?
Pull it down, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. A.
A, okay. Councilmember Bray Johnson is pulling A, claims and account.
I'll make a motion then to approve the consent agenda 9B, C, and D.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Tradewell, a second by Councilmember West. Being that this actually has some substance behind it, and Mike is not here, we'll do a roll call vote. Councilmember Wiley,
Aye.
Councilmember Tradewell,
Yep.
Aye.
Councilmember Bray Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember West,
All right,
and Mayor Rolfe, aye. Motion passes 5-0. All right, for items B, C, and D. Councilmember Bray Johnson, item A.
Yeah, I had some questions about, so Rim River Consultants, their bill was $46,480. A lot of that was for inspections. And I'm wondering, do we have, and that was just for November and December, $42,000 for inspection services. Do we have a detail of that, of the addresses and what was done? Because that seems like a lot for 2 months. So I guess I would like to see.
Yep, their invoice is detailed with all the addresses and subsequent information about the
Okay.
type of permanent inspections.
Okay. Is that available for us to review at some point?
Yeah, sure, I can send it out.
Okay, I would appreciate that. That's the question I had. It just seems awfully high for 2 months. So
well, I think the bill last year was $350,000.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
It was a big bill.
Yep. I mean, this is 2 months, so that's why I wanted to review it and just see, just for justification, because that's a lot of money. So with
Well,
that,
since we're on that discussion, I'd like to bring up, I think we should look at this at a work session sometime and think of other possible ways to do the same job. I've always been for having our own employee doing this type of work. I think it'll be cheaper myself, but it's something I think we could talk.
Yeah, we're getting to the point in the size that we should be reviewing this to make sure it makes sense to bring it in-house, not necessarily, basically providing a bunch of profit to a company outside the city.
yeah, they like to add on fees and things that I don't think we all agree with all the time, and so
Well,
I think
they-
it's good to review it.
We have one to review today.
Yeah, we have, they want to review all their charges anyway, so.
So are you able to send that out, Lauren, then maybe just all of us, and then we could all look it over and.
Yeah, I can do that. It might actually be for 3 months, not two like it's listed on there. I wasn't able to pull it up quick enough here, but I can send the detail out.
Okay, that would be fabulous. Thank you.
Make a motion.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve A.
I'll second it.
All right, motion by Councilmember Bray Johnson, second by Councilmember Tradewell. And this one again, since it's claims and account, we'll do a roll call vote. Councilmember Wiley.
I vote yes.
All right. Councilmember Tradewell.
Aye.
Councilmember Bray Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember West.
All right,
Mayor Rolfe, aye. Motion passes 5-0. All right. Chuck, we're up to you here already.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. A couple of things to update you on this week. The highlights are that the 2026 street improvement project the bid opening will happen next week, so that'll be in front of you at your March meeting. A reminder that the CASA 7 bridge closure over the Seeley Brook, that'll start May 9th and will end
Thought it was
June
March.
5th.
March, I thought.
Or, I'm sorry, March. Thank you for that. March 9th through June 5th.
That was delayed.
And come Friday, they'll be setting up message boards to get people alerted to what's going on there.
is that going to make the flyer, Lauren? The newsletter?
Yep, we should be able to get that in
All right,
for the spring newsletter.
Awesome, thank you.
Good timing.
Sorry to interrupt, Chuck, go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Couple other items, we had a sketch review for Rum River Pines. That's the 40 acres that's between Timbers Hideaway and 197th. And there's possibility, it looks like that'll go forward this year. Also sketch review of Sandra Crossing, which is the Paz land. Former wastewater site there. And the next couple of weeks we will, if they don't reach out to us, we'll reach out to the folks at Raven Street and 221st about obtaining a potential site triangle to improve visibility and safety at that intersection. That's the highlights. Is there any questions from the council for me?
Only, I guess I had one kind of question or comment, Chuck. Mike, who was here speaking before us earlier, I'm guessing the county, there's nothing they can do to try to change anything in that intersection for the next 3 years, but maybe you could at least just let them know that one of the residents was concerned, and there's probably nothing they can do, but I think maybe it's at least worth a drive. They could come up and, I don't know, maybe there's some bushes or a tree or something that we can do, because 3 years is a long time, but I also understand by the time you design it and you get the bids and you do all the stuff, it just takes a long
Don't kill me
time.
when I say this. Maybe they should put a four-way there until they do it.
Or even a flashing stop sign, because even
I'm
on
just saying,
approach,
it's a problem spot.
They are effective.
Yeah.
Solar panel,
Yeah.
flashing.
Yep. So then people know there is a stop sign coming up, it's,
Well, and the county could stop out and just talk to the resident.
Yeah.
And he could share his concerns with them as well. So, try and set something up to have a visit with Mike.
Right. So I think, Chuck, we're kind of all on the same page. We know that we can't get this project done this coming summer, but maybe there's something that can be done to help a little bit, while we wait a couple more years. So.
Yep, I'll set something up and I'll talk through them. That's a great idea. All those ideas, to see what, if anything, they can do. Maybe dynamic speed signs, just to remind people that, that they're speeding, it's flat and straight. It's always a challenge there, so. And there's a special needs person in one of the quadrants, right? So, it's a tough situation all around. So I'll see what we can do.
Perfect.
thank you.
Thanks.
Anything else for Chuck?
Thanks, Chuck.
No, I'll be speaking on that change order, I believe, Lauren. Is that in front of them?
Yep.
All right, we're to city administrator updates and discussion items. And I guess if you want Chuck to take item A.
Yeah, Chuck will be available for any questions on that. This is change order number 4 for the City Hall building, City Hall and Fire Station building project. It relates to some of the civil site work on the project. Chuck can get into that. We've had 4 change orders, but 2 of those 4 resulted in no cost change. The first change order was basically to do the add alternates that the council accepted in the project. The second one was for the brick on the back of the building. We only did a portion of it. There was one other one, but this is the biggest change order so far. Chuck can give you the details on it.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Alrighty. So, so the, Design Tree designed this and it was incorporated into the architect's plan set. The revisions are, based on past comments Public Works and MSA has made. They're required basically to meet city standards for stormwater treatment. And, city standards basically aligned with state law and requirements. So that's a lot of it has to do with the infiltration, some of those things. A lot of the cost too has to deal with they were proposing a corrugated metal pipe underneath that large concrete driveway that's going to serve the fire station. And you don't really want to put a 20-year pipe underneath a concrete driveway that's going to last a heck of a lot longer. So this is just change orders and replaces that pipe material. And it also adds a fire hydrant to the south side of the driveway. You've got this new well in production there. If and when you decide to do something with the land south of the new facility, whether it's a sprinkler system or even on a building or, whatever you may do, that the water will be there available. What else? And, then it also includes just some, with all these changes, just some additional erosion control requirements. The total net change of the contract for this change order is $92,848.
And I see there's a credit back though for $28,296, which was the original PVC, I assume.
Yeah, so changing the prices
Yeah.
on the details and then the support documentation.
The only question I have, Chuck, is that we were going to dig the trenches with plastic. We're going to do basically all the same amount of labor. Are we to believe that going from plastic to concrete, the concrete costs $72,000? Because again, I know there's probably some additional stuff for how they're connected and this, that, and the other versus plastic. They can just glue them or whatever, but it just seems like a lot, right? I mean, they're already digging the hole, so you already got the man hours and the digging is already going to be done. So the only thing you're really doing is replacing it with concrete. And as you go through there, I see where they got the concrete charges to $33,000. So we went from 28 to 33. It's like, where did all this other money come from? So that's the only thing I ask. I know it has to be done. I'm just saying these are the things in my head that if someone asked me, I couldn't answer the question.
Well, there's still the extension to get to the other hydrant plus the other hydrant.
So that's where.
So there's more there. But I always agree, Paul. I think it's way too expensive. But these are the numbers that we were given.
Yeah. Oh, I see that. Yeah. 11.5 and then, yeah.
And then he's talking.
And there's some concrete structures associated with some of the infiltration requirements that are added to this, and those concrete structures are, a significant expense as well. I didn't negotiate the change order. That was done by the architect and their civil consultant. So those negotiations or those things were done by others.
Chuck, isn't all this stuff things that should have been done in the very beginning before we bid out this project?
Yes, it's that the civil consultant, had our design standards and the stormwater requirements. Again, we go along with what the state requires.
Right. So here they come back up for another $100,000. And they should have actually had this done in the first place. I mean, these are the experts that designed this and sold us the pricing and everything else on this project. I don't know. I guess I got a real problem with it. I understand some of that stuff's got to be done, but it just seems like, what else did they not put in there that they're going to come back and say, oh, guess what, you need this too. This is another 100,000. This is another 100. I mean, I'm not too impressed with this firm so far.
The only thing, Mike, I would add, I agree 100% with you. The only thing I would add is that's also why there is contingency because you at the end of the day, people are human and they're going to miss things, and that's why they put the percentage of contingency in there, to cover the oops, we forgot this or oops, we forgot that. But yes, it's still a lot of money, and you get
and I get the fire hydrant and a few things like that they missed, but then running the pipe underneath the concrete and then moving that out, it's like, didn't they think about this? They do this. This is what they do.
Mike, I completely agree with you, and I feel like these things keep getting added on, and $100,000, and they kept it less. It was a lower cost in the beginning to stay within our budget.
Well, to be fair, this is the first change order that's costing us money. So, they're not adding everything, and the building committee has been. I'll speak for myself, very diligent about saying no to change orders and trying to convince them not to add things. I think both of these gentlemen here could attest to that. We are not letting them just throw stuff at this. And we are refuting, I mean, sort of like the, what was it, the cement, extra footings and stuff
Yeah.
like that. We said
no.
no. And, you know, we said that, but I wanted to make sure it came to the council so we could all vote on it. And that'll continue to happen. So anytime there's ads like this. Now, this was in the job. It was just a different material. It was, you know, like Chuck said, it was a 25-year plan. We want this building to last longer than that. We don't,
Yeah.
hopefully that concrete's gonna last longer than 25 years. So we are adding a little extra to it, not just a change. So, you know, they did think about it. It's just not to the spec that we want it to be to, so.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it was, the spec
I mean,
did meet the state code.
Yeah.
This is something that staff looked at and said, this is going to be a problem, so
Right.
let's
Down the
address it
road,
now
yeah.
instead of.
So we're asking to go above and beyond here, not the architect.
Isn't that something that we paid Randy to do also, is to watch out what,
Randy's a little biased. because
Wow.
he
But
gets
you know,
picture.
and I'm not trying to stick up for Randy, but you got to remember too, there's literally probably 10,000 moving pieces,
Yeah.
and this is one. Yes, he dropped the ball on, it, and there's been a couple others, but they haven't cost us anything. And but the thing is at the end of the day, and yes, they do it all the time, but how many times do you repeat something and you're like, God, why did I do that again?
Yeah.
So
But again, our staff came to them and said, this is what we want to do.
Right.
It's not like they're coming to us and say, we're going to
right,
upcharge.
This was
He
something
came to
staff
them.
directed. So.
okay, okay. All right, thank you for the
I
clarification.
mean, it probably doesn't make you feel any better, but I mean, it is betterment and it is improvements that, in theory, if it was in the bid initially, that you would have paid for, you just wouldn't.
We would have kept it.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but the price might have been different on the bids if it was in there in the first place. You know, and we were clear with Randy all along. We weren't looking at no 25-year building. So if they put things in there for a 25-year building, what were you thinking? We were very plain early on that that's not the type of building we wanted. We didn't expect to build one for many decades. And I get that this makes sense and we need this, but it's just the point that I think that the architecture firm should have done a better job on putting the proper stuff into this building. And because we don't, this is early on, we have no clue how many more change orders are we gonna have and how many other things did they put. Oh, this was only for 10 years and stuff. Sorry, you want the last 50? You know, that's my concern. It's just the way this whole thing has gone down. Because none of us on our council like to raise taxes or spend money that we don't need to spend. And I think this puts us in a bad position where we have to spend money, whether it's been accounted for already or whether it's contingency. I would much rather use that contingency for furniture and things like that. So I think it behooves us to save everything we can. But I guess you know that's all I can say about it. I just want to air my displeasure with how it was brought to us.
You're not wrong, Mike.
I guess the only thing I'd like to add is obviously you two are on the building committee, which you're doing a great job, and so a lot of this information we're getting from you guys, you're there. The three of us aren't, involved, so we got to kind of take a little bit of what you guys are thinking. The only thing I want to clear up is just kind of what was said here, and I know what Angie was saying was just what we were all were thinking.
Sure.
But I just want to clear it up for those that maybe don't know it as much as us. It hasn't been 100,000 here and 100,000 there and 100,000. I know what you're saying because I'm frustrated about it too, but I just don't want people who maybe are at home watching thinking, oh my gosh, they have no control over this. And so I'm not trying to
That's
correct what you're what you were stating. I knew you were explaining it out of frustration because we all are too, but even some of the change orders that have come forward, we've actually voted against. So I think we're actually sitting in a pretty good position now. I mean, none of us like the change orders, but one of them, it was not the whole council voted for it, but the consensus of the council voted for one of them, and then we turned down the big one with the footings. I think it was 5-0 against it, and so I think we're doing good. But I think I would agree with Mike and all of us that it's frustrating when this extra little, I don't even want to say little, but you know what I mean.
Well, to Lauren's point, I mean, we've even had some deducts. So we haven't had change orders that cost money. We've had deducts. This is the first time that we've run into something that we've asked for. So,
And I only made a statement I did is just so that you all know that we're frustrated too, but as we look at the information and stuff, it's like, yes, okay, it's something we needed to do. I'm glad it was done. But at the same time, don't want you just to think that we're going, yeah, go ahead, do it.
Right, right.
John's very frugal in there. I'm about 3/4 as frugal as him, and so not a lot gets passed. So.
And we all know each other, and we all understood what
Yeah.
each other is saying. I just, for like
Convey to
Mike,
the
for
audience.
example, here, I want to make sure he understands what we're really talking about, and not just what
we don't want Ron giving us the stink eye from the back row there.
Of the 5 change orders we've had, one of those has resulted in an increase. The first one was for $31,330. This one, if approved tonight, will be $92,848. So we're about $128,000 in change orders on a $14 million project.
So,
We did turn down one for $74,000 late last year
Right.
for additional depth on the footings.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other comments? If not, I would look for a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilmember Tradewell. Is there a second?
I'll make it.
Motion by second by Councilmember West. And again, based off we're talking this kind of money, we'll do a roll call vote. Councilmember Wiley,
Reluctantly, I will vote in favor of it because I know it's something that's important to have done.
I'm thinking that's what everybody's going to think here. But Councilmember Tradewell,
Aye.
Councilmember Bray Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember West,
Aye.
Mayor Rolfe, aye. Motion passes 5-0. All right. Thanks, Chuck. Administrative updates.
A couple items. The Planning Commission met last Thursday night. They did hold 2 public hearings, so and both were approved. Those land use items will be coming to the Planning Commission or the Council at their next meeting on March 9th. They also kind of kicked off the 2050 Comprehensive Plan project, and they want to really get going on that as soon as possible. And they would really like to have that wrapped up by the end of the year. So one thing they are proposing is to meet with the council at their next meeting, ahead of the meeting at 5 o'clock, from 5 to 6, to start on a SWOT analysis of the comprehensive plan. It can either be a work session or it can be a joint city council planning commission meeting.
That's what date?
March 9th, so it's the next planning, or it's the next council meeting date. And they would like to meet ahead of the regular meeting at 5, from 5 to 6.
Sounds good to me.
I'm good with that.
I already know some of it, but I will not be able to most likely attend that. So.
Okay. I think we should still do it anyways, just to kind of get things going here. So.
No, and that's what we discussed.
We know there's at least one planning commission member that wouldn't be present as well, but just to kick it off and to get it moving, it's important to start. We're going to get, it'll be a nice feature in the spring newsletter for the interactive stuff for the public to get involved. So the surveys and additional meetings will be listed in there as well. So the residents can get involved too.
Yeah, I guess call it a meeting or a work session, whatever you think.
Does the council have a preference? I'll
Work
set it.
session.
Work session.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I will schedule that then for Monday, March 9th, 5 p.m. with the Planning Commission and Council. Both advisory commissions are having to move their regular scheduled meetings in March due to quorum issues. So the Parks Commission is looking at the last Wednesday in March, which is the 25th, and the same with the Planning Commission. So they're looking at the last Thursday in March, which is the 26th. So we will publish those as meeting changes. Both of those will meet that last month, or that last week of the month. The Planning Commission did not take up the last ordinance that you sent them dealing with parking, or I'm sorry, interim use permits for home occupations. But they do plan to address that at their March meeting on March 26th. We do have a light agenda tonight. I didn't add it to the agenda. I didn't add a contract or an ordinance of the month, but if you wanted to have a little bit of discussion, there is something we could talk about related to the last meeting where we talked about the parking ordinance. One thing we didn't get into discussing last time was the number of vehicles you can park outside on your property without a conditional use permit or interim use permit. It's currently limited at 4. If that's something the council wants to take up tonight, we could do that, or we could just move it to a future meeting as well.
Has there ever been any petitions asking for additional?
We have one currently. We've never issued any. I've never had anyone make an application. We do have someone who is basically caught in a code enforcement matter where I believe they have 5 or 6, and the code requires a conditional use permit or interim use permit for anything over 4, and they are wanting to do that, so they may be reaching out or they may be making application, but they haven't yet. They have a lot of good points, but we now make people bring their property into compliance before they can make an application, so he's working through that.
You know, I've been taking a little car count in neighbors' driveways, things like that, since we brought this up a while back. And I'm finding a lot of people have more than that, but they also have a lot of children that have driver's licenses and their own cars. I think, to be honest with you, I think 4 is kind of crazy, because I know somebody that has 7 kids that are driving age, you know, and I know there's others, and I mean, to have them apply for any type of special permission, I guess I have an issue with.
Yeah, it could be something that could be based on the number of licensed drivers in the household.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
as simple as that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would be fine looking at it. I know some neighborhoods like the Ponds, you might not be able to fit more than 4 cars, but for a lot of properties that are 2.5 acres plus,
Yeah.
but I think it's worth at least looking at it.
But we're not giving we're going to discuss it. I would hope that we're not saying, well, because they have 6 licensed driver, they can park 6 cars out on the street.
I don't think we're talking about
This is for, this is specific to
But that's where they go. When they have too many in their driveways, they go out on the street.
This is specific to off-street parking, so in your driveway.
Yeah, I don't have any problem. They can have as many, if they have 8 kids, they should be able to have 8 vehicles, so, yeah. Totally agree.
Maybe it's worth bringing it back, Lauren. I think we all have an appetite of more. I don't know if 8's the right number, or 5
I
or
was
10
being-
or
And some people have work vehicles also. You know, they have their personal and then they have a work one. You know, I mean, I know that that's in our neighborhood.
Maybe just to bring
Peter
some
Pan
common sense into it, you know,
Yeah.
just
Not make big changes, but just
make sure it's
this
not.
person that's got maybe 4 adult drivers in there.
It doesn't sound like we have a big problem with it. I mean, if we have one issue that you know of.
Well, this particular one is, you know, over, but so are his neighbors, but only one complaint came in, so.
So this one that's over, do they have that many licensed drivers for those vehicles?
I don't think so.
Are they licensed vehicles?
Or are some of them work vehicles?
I think at least one is a work vehicle.
Okay.
I think I don't want to speak to all the specifics of it, but I didn't get the sense that there's 6 licensed drivers in the household.
Okay.
I'm guessing when the ordinance was implemented, before all of us were here, it probably was somebody who had
Before
30
one was
cars in their front yard, and I guess I don't know, but
You just don't want.
Yeah. You know, if they're parking their driveway, that's a little different than if they're parking their front yard. So,
I'd say bring it back.
These are not all in the driveway, they're throughout the yard.
I don't think we're ready
Right, that's a little different.
to vote on it without even reading the ordinance, but I think at least it looks like there's an appetite to talk
Okay.
more about it.
I can bring back some additional information. We are finalizing the spring newsletter, so hope to have that to the printer by the end of the week. There will be a lot of information in that. One of the features will be the 2050 comprehensive plan project. So this will be the kickoff and the newsletter. Be an update on the City Hall building project in there. Election information for the 2026 elections. The summary budget will go in there from the levy and budget that was approved for this year. Some other recycle day too, because that will be coming up here in the end of April. So there'll be a lot of good information in that. If there's anything else the council would like to see in there, let me know in the short term here. There was some, also you guys had mentioned some stuff you wanted to see in there from some of the ordinance of the month, so we'll have that parking information in there and other stuff related to it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Do you have anything about our new animal control in there?
Yes, that will be in there as well.
Okay.
And why it was chosen.
And
Yeah,
why it
because
was
people
chosen.
want to know why it's all the way in Oakdale and literally there's nothing else affordable around here.
Because there's nothing else.
There's nothing
Yeah.
else.
That's the reason.
There is really nothing else. It would have been 45 miles in a different direction.
Yeah.
And my concern is we would be right back here a year from now, and there might not be availability at the one in Oakland.
Well, we understand that, but there's people that on
Yeah, there were
social media
people
that have
on
asked.
social that were asking about it. Yeah.
And I'm like,
I explained it. It's
Well,
fine.
you did good.
I will put a little blurb in there about why we have them too. They cannot. One thing I do want to clarify is they cannot charge for the call out and the mileage when they pick them up, but we will start invoicing for that. So the council is collecting the full amount attributed to dogs that are picked up.
Okay.
And we only had one. There was only one in January, the first month.
And there was just one a few days ago I know of.
Yeah. So overall, animal control has not been a big issue for the city. A lot of responsible pet owners in the city, which is good.
Good.
Can I ask a question? He said something about elections.
Yeah, hang on just one second.
Okay.
Don't mind. Just to add on to what you're saying, we're not the only city having this problem.
Oh, no,
So
no,
It's
it's
not like
every
we
city
just
out.
decided, hey, let's send everybody to Oakdale to pick up your dog.
Right.
Humane Society ended our contract, and there's literally no other options except for Onamia, which isn't really any closer.
No, and it really started 4 years ago, when Dover Kennel closed down. They had been the city's provider for a long time. That was very close and convenient, but they shut down their business, and then it was a struggle then. There were no options, and it didn't get any better over the following couple of years.
I'm sorry, you said something about elections?
Well, I mean, I just had a question. Emails went out about election judges, previous election judges. Did you get very much feedback from people about that? Do you know? If they were interested in being an election judge?
Oh,
in
yeah,
this?
we are gathering that feedback. There have been a few that are not able to serve again, but I think for the most part, people are coming back from what I've heard so far.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we will always, fill any that aren't there when we get the list from the parties as well.
I guess I'm confused. Were you up or were you up?
He's up.
Oh, all right. Got anything else?
Just a quick update on the building project. There are just a couple panels or wall panels remaining now. They should be installed tomorrow. So kind of the exterior of the building is enclosed now. March 5th is when the steel is expected to come. They'll start that, and then I think the roof is later in April.
I was going to say all the externals are up now.
Well, there's a couple missing. They're really small panels in the entryway. You can't see it unless you're up close.
Oh, okay.
Yep, there's a couple that will be.
I was going to say, I drove by it. It looked.
If you just at glance, you wouldn't notice it, but there's a couple that need to be set tomorrow, and then they will be all installed. Staff is gathering information on 2 items we talked about at the last meeting. We're going to get updated quotes on demolition of this building and also some estimates on if we were to keep a portion of it for a possible substation for the sheriff's office in Alina and some cold storage for public works. But when we have those numbers, we'll bring it back to the council for discussion. And then separately, we're also, for the future of the fire department, we are working on some estimates too for what a full-time chief would look like phased in over a couple-year period.
Also, from the last meeting, waiting on numbers for the worst-case scenario for the water treatment.
Yes, we did meet with Public Works Director and MSA, and they're kind of recommending that we maybe hold off on that until next year because our operating permit from the state is due next year, and that will force us to take a hard look at both the systems and any potential new changes or requirements from the state in order to get that operating permit renewed, and then we can look at the capital situation at that time too. So I think at least the direction from staff is to maybe just hold off on the sewer until we get through that operating permit next year.
Lake George talking about.
Lake George sewer. In terms of the water, you guys did approve interfund loan. At the last meeting, we will bring a resolution to the council probably at the next meeting outlining all those terms that you approved to make it official. And then we would probably look at those rates going into effect April 1st for billing. And that gives us a month to notify the users on the system too that the rate increase is coming.
Anything else?
That's all I got for now.
Angie, you got anything else?
No, I was just gonna bring up animal control and, no, that's it for now. Probably.
John, anything?
Nope.
Mike, before I forget anything? Doesn't look like anything.
Mike, anything? Did you hear him?
I did not hear, but it's breaking up on my side a little bit, but I have nothing.
Thought he was a cardboard.
Nothing to add.
We thought you were a cardboard cutout there for a moment.
Paul?
I'm sure we're gonna have 10 months to give lots of feedback on it, but the disturbing information came out on social media last week, and something about my mayor, and it's not going to be the last time. I'm just saying he's not going to run again, and I just wanted to say that I think he's been one of the best mayors we've had, and I'm going to be sad to see him go.
I'll ditto that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it.
It's been good leadership.
Yep.
Anything else?
Nope, that was it.
You kind of took the thunder from me.
No, I took a little sliver.
I actually have 3 things here. I hope to get everybody out by 9 o'clock. I'm just kidding. I brought this up with Lauren today, but I just, being that the 2 of you were on the building committee, I'm sure you guys have thought about it, but I would be upset with myself if I don't say it now and then all of a sudden for some reason nobody ever thought about it. I kind of drove around it a little bit yesterday, just trying to kind of see what it was looking like from outside the fence, Lauren. And when I'm looking at like the lights for the parking lot, I just want to be cautious that we're not getting them, the light too far that now across the street or the guy behind him's trying to watch a movie with his lights off, but yet he's got all this light. So I'm sure you guys have thought about it, but again, I just felt that if I didn't bring it up, I might be upset with myself at some point. So something to consider. I guess the light pollution, I guess we'll call it, right? And then I do have 2 other things. I guess Paul kind of stole the thunder from me here, but those of you that are online maybe came upon it. If not, I just wanted to say that as I've begun the final year of my mayoral term, I plan to continue to work hard and represent you the best way I know how. I have spent the last couple of months reflecting, and my plan is not to seek re-election. I've enjoyed my years on the Planning Commission, City Council, and as your mayor, though it is time for me to move on to my next endeavor. I am making my announcement now to allow for the next mayor the time to prepare for his or her campaign season and to make sure that we have a smooth transition. I do not plan to sit on my hands for the remainder of my term, so please let me know if there's something that I can do for you. I do thank you for your support over the years. I could not have had this opportunity without you and with your support and trust in me. And with that, like I told you, I'm not going to sit on my hands. This is the next thing that I'm continuing to work on. I'll try to make it as brief as I can here. As you guys know, we, for the last couple of years, been talking about election integrity. I don't want to speak for anyone up here, but I don't think anybody has said that there's fraud and there's this and there's that and there's all these problems. We've been just trying to verify that things are working correctly and been receiving a lot of pushback. So this is where we're at. Again, I'm speaking for myself. The council may agree or disagree. That's their choice. But over the past couple of years, the Oak Grove City Council has worked hard by attempting to confirm there is integrity in our election process. We voted unanimously on several resolutions that were sent to Anoka County requesting to have a post-election review after Election Day and to eliminate the electronic poll pads, but we have had no success. I have continued to explain to the county that my intent is not to prove there is election fraud, but to confirm the process is being done correctly. I have used and will continue to use the word verify. My original goal was to verify the election results within Oak Grove, but the request was ignored by our county board. I also received a little pushback from a few community members who think the process is working fine. I will be honest, I hope those community members are right and things are being done correctly. Again, it is not my goal to prove the process does not work. It is my goal to verify that the process is working correctly. This is not a conservative versus liberal or a Democrat versus Republican issue. This is America, and we need to make sure something as important as our election process has additional checks being done and just not trust the technology and the government. I did not have a lot of faith in our state leaders in the first place, but I have absolutely zero now based off the $9 billion fraud situation, which I am guessing is just the beginning. However, a lot of the rebuttals received by the county, they have received from their advisors at the state. That concerns me a bit. I was informed the voting equipment is checked and works correctly. I believe that, and I hope that is the case, but technology can fail us, as you know, at the worst times. I've responded several times to these same individuals and asked if they have ever used an ATM. I have to believe that 99% of us that use an ATM count the money before we drive away. However, I never really get a response to my ATM example. I have faith that an ATM works properly and that the machines are checked often for compliance. With little research, there is information that indicates sometimes an ATM fails and what to do when it does. Again, I'm not saying the election equipment does not work correctly. All I want to do is to be able to verify by counting the ballots / the candidates' total votes and go back to paper rosters. Not sure why that is so difficult, with such a difficult request, but it seems to be. The Oak Grove City Council and I have pushed Anoka County Commissioners hard to get the board members out of their own way and join us. Unfortunately, the commissioners that represent us here in Oak Grove continue to ignore our requests. The crazier thing is, the board voted 5-2 to give their authority relating to elections to county staff. I highly respect county staff, and I understand they are doing what they think is right, though something as important as our election process should not be on the shoulders of non-elected officials making policy for all of us. On the other hand, Commissioner Julie Brasted and Mike Gamache seem to think differently than our council. I was actually hoping for their support on the topic. Unfortunately, they have continued to push back and want to see proof that there is a problem. Honestly, I hope things are being done correctly, and I never find proof that things are not. Though it starts to make me wonder why they push back so hard, and if they should be in their elected positions they currently hold. Decisions have consequences, so we will see how things turn out on election day for them. Over the years, we have all heard of large companies that have had a breach. Yet here in Anoka County, we continue to sit back and just assume everything is being done correctly. Why is it so much to ask to be able to count the ballots and the candidates' votes received and verify the election? The county will tell you that the state indicates that the post-election reviews must be done at random, which I do agree with their thoughts involving the 4 that they are required to do by law. The part I do not agree with is that a city cannot conduct additional checks, though the county continues to advise that the state statute does not allow us to do that, but in my opinion, that is their interpretation of the law. As for the electronic poll pads / rosters, a lot of this comes down to statute. The statute indicates that the head election official will be the one to decide whether or not we, as Oak Grove, can choose to use electronic poll pads or not. We here in Oak Grove terminated our contract before the last election, but we are still forced by the county to use them. The county thinks they are the head election official, but honestly, I think the city of Oak Grove is. If you read the statute, you will see it does not indicate who the head election official is. Based on all the research I have conducted over the past couple of years, I believe the county is interpreting this statute incorrectly. The reason I caved right before the election and voted to use the poll pads is because the county threatened our election judges with a felony if they failed to use the electronic poll pads. I was not willing to take the risk on the backs of our great election judges. They have a hard enough job already, and they do not have to worry about being charged with a crime. As for our election judges, I have complete faith in those individuals, and I hope you do too. Their dedication to our city is amazing, and we could not do it without them. Again, This is not our election judges I am concerned about. It is technology and the lack of support from the county. Remember, our state leaders oversee the whole election process. I also believe in voter ID, and I would like Oak Grove to push the state harder on that issue. Though the issue now requiring voter ID is that the state leaders voted to give IDs to all, not just citizens of our state. Currently, I am not sure what the workaround is with that, so we shall see. Like I mentioned, this is not a conservative or liberal issue. This is America. This is America's issue, and we need to make sure things are working correctly, even if the one you support falls short. I realize my mayoral term is coming to an end, but I am not going away. I plan to continue to push for election integrity. I just may have to do it from a different role. I also have faith in our council, and I believe they will not give up. I would encourage you to continue to support our great council. At times, it is easy to look the other way, but our council continues to push forward and represents you the best way they know how. Thank you. And with that, I'll look for a motion to, or I guess I should probably tell them where our next meeting is. So that's the end of the meeting here. Our next regular scheduled meeting will be on March 9th, 2026 at 6 p.m., though we're going to be having a work session, it sounds like, with the Planning Commission starting at 5 p.m. So you're welcome to come. I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Councilmember Bray Johnson. Is there a second?
I guess I'll have to second it.
Second by Councilmember Tradewell. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-1. Thank you for coming.